Coverage rolls on here from 2025 contest weekend at Circa Las Vegas. That's where we are. Circa Sports here in Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm Bobby Trosset. Thank you guys for being with me today. Hope you're having a great Thursday. It is 12:34 Pacific time. What's that make it back home on the East Coast? 3:34. Hope you guys are having a great mid to late afternoon. Like the video on your way in. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. Hit that notification bell. You guys know the drill. Consider becoming a channel member or gift-giving membership, which is now available on this channel as it has been on the Vault. And by the way, thevaultpod.com/shop is where you can get yourself polos like these and a lot of other options that we have available to you. All that information can be found online at thevaultpod.com or just go visit the show notes below. Well, we've got conspiracy theories that are running rampant after Lamar Jackson's X-ray results of that foot have dropped. That's courtesy of John Harbaugh, who met with reporters a short while ago. It's officially time for preseason football finale. Well, I guess that's one way of putting it. The preseason football finale, which will be in Landover, Maryland, between the Ravens and Commanders this upcoming weekend, meaning there's no practice tomorrow. That game is going to be on Saturday afternoon. So that's that. But what's right now is obviously the most pressing part of it, and that's the messaging around this Lamar Jackson story. It all started yesterday, as you guys probably recall by now, assuming that you have been following along, when beat reporters noticed that he was knocked down after a play during practice. Well, knocked down to the point where multiple of those beat reporters, including Jeff Zaribek of The Athletic, my teammate on the Ravens Collective, noticed that he was flexing, favoring that right wrist/hand is the way that it was described as. Well, he's hung in the game, or hung in the practice, I should say, for a couple plays after that, but then left with strength and conditioning coach Scott Elliott and members of the medical staff. Did not show up to practice today, so he was missing in action. When John Harbaugh was asked about it, this is what he had to say earlier today at one winning drive.
Yeah, he got his foot stepped on, like we said yesterday. I think Chad had mentioned that. They did a quick X-ray, and there's no damage or anything like that. I'm sure it's a little sore today, so we just kept him in, but he's fine. He's going to be good.
So the X-ray results come back clean. Jerry Coleman, one of the many who were first to be on this, right, when Lamar did not practice, and did not show up for practice, despite that spokesperson, that team's spokesperson, approaching members of the beat community yesterday after practice that he was fine, that it was a foot that was stepped on. Nothing to do with the wrist/hand observations. And that might be the case. I think what's tripping up a lot of you, maybe, who are in this live audience right now, but definitely folks that I've seen on Twitter, is the inconsistent messaging. And I get it. I do get it. How does it go from this universal observation from reporters on the scene that it sure looked like he was flexing that wrist/hand? How does it go from that to, oh, no, it's actually his foot? Could both things have been true? Maybe. There was no follow-up question to John Harbaugh in that press conference earlier today. So all we have to go off of is the team's word, essentially that prayers were answered, as John Harbaugh put it himself. One more time through here.
Yeah, he got his foot stepped on, like we said yesterday. I think Chad had mentioned that. They did a quick X-ray, and there's no damage or anything like that. I'm sure it's a little sore today, so we just kept him in, but he's fine. He's going to be good.
Team spokesperson, I guess, is Chad Steele. Didn't catch that at first glance from John Harbaugh, but there you have it. Got his foot stepped and stepped on in Wednesday's practice. He added that the X-ray revealed no damage. As Jamison Hensley noted here, he's going to be good. It was a big relief. I told the guys, prayers do get answered. I was praying. So I ask you, live chat, before I give a brief little rant, are you buying what John Harbaugh is selling? Are you buying it or are you selling it? Because I know a lot of you still have PTSD from a number of different incidents in the past, whether it be the 2021 season from an injury-riddled standpoint, or the fact that Lamar did not finish the 21 and 22 seasons, and we know what that meant those 2 years for those two teams. When Lamar goes down, let's be honest, The Ravens go as Lamar goes. And without him, their dreams and aspirations can't come to fruition, right? Tila says she's buying for now. Christina is not buying it. Dre Dog says, all I know if it's his hand and it lingers, we will never forgive John. Oh boy. Comments have just been added to the stage. You can see them start to file their way in the bottom right-hand side. That's a brand new feature provided by StreamYard. So get them in while you can. Don Royal is here. He's always Mr. Positivity, aren't you, Don? You bring so much positivity. You just ooze of positivity. My guy Will says he is selling, to be honest. Tila says it's not abnormal to take a day off. That's a cool little feature. You guys can get more involved with the channel. I'm going to open up the guest lines at some point too, but not before I rant on some of the conspiracy theories. Look at all these comments fly in. A brand new feature provided by StreamYard. Please like the video on your way in. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. Hit that notification bell. You guys know the drill. And here are my thoughts and what I just tweeted out a short while ago. You can follow me at Bobby Baltimore as always. I said, so let me get this straight right quick. Some of you are genuinely convinced that the organization, beat reporter community, and everyone else in between are conspiring together to withhold information on the severity of Lamar Jackson's injury. We desperately need football back. Jason Smith, Huddle It Up Films. He'll be on the Vault on Monday for our 53-man roster projection cutdown show. He goes, betting 100% of the reporters were following the ball and legit didn't see the moment Lamar got stepped on. They just saw the aftermath. I also 100% believe that the Ravens will be as coy as they can be with this. In my opinion, as they should be. Fans obviously just care a lot about our guy. I love that response from Jason. I got a lot of respect for Jason, his football acumen, his film study. He is the man. And I also really believe what he's saying. I think there could be a lot of truth to that. We've seen that time and time again. You have to be coy. There has to be a level of gamemanship involved here. We're 2.5 weeks out from the start of the season, 17 games out to the start of regular season football between the Ravens and Bills, September 7th in Buffalo. It's never too early to start playing that game. At the same time, for some of you, I don't want to specifically label anybody, but based on some of my mentions, based on what's popped up on my timeline, there is a percentage, don't know what number to attach to that percentage, but there is a percentage of this fan base that is convinced that there's conspiring happening here. That the team, the beat reporter community, everyone else in between is hiding something, is withholding information about Lamar Jackson's injury. And I'm sure, as many of you noted to me in response to this tweet, I'm sure a lot of that has to do with really the two stories that came from this yesterday. The first was, of course, the beat reporter observations that came through prior to the spokesperson who pushes everybody in a different direction. The messaging went from wrist/hand to no, it's actually his foot that was stepped on. So that right there lies the root of this issue. Two different messagings, two different stories, and I think has opened up the opportunity for almost a mystery in some sense. So now the question becomes, well, where do the Ravens go from here? Where do we go from here? Brian Wacker covers the Ravens for the Baltimore Sun. And when he, as a beat reporter on the scene, is accused of such, you know he's going to take a hard stance against it. Okay? There's some talks about how also what's not getting out there and what's being withheld is whoever the player was that stepped on Lamar, right? That had his foot stepped on, that's being held. Well, Brian's like, look, this is an absurd notion to those that felt like, and I guess Rita was suggesting here on X, that the beat reporter community may have been asked not to say who stepped on Lamar's foot. And Brian, one of those beat reporters, says this is an absurd notion. If any of us saw who stepped on Lamar, it would have been reported. We were 30 plus yards from where it happened, and there were a mass of bodies. It was not clear. And I will say this, while it's been a couple of years since I have had access to the Ravens facility for training camp practices and everything else in season, I remember vividly just how difficult it is where media has a chance to sit from a vantage point perspective. It's hard. When you observe practice, there is a select zone where you cannot cross, where you cannot go past, that you have to be in order to have your view of practice. And it's only for a select amount of time. And by the way, it's notable that today's practice was the final one of open media practice for the year. They'll still have press conference availability and whatnot. But ultimately, that's why that's just it's the end of open media for training camp. Fans left last week or 2 weeks ago, and open media, the final day for them is today. So, look, it sounds like there's a perfect storm happening here. It sounds like, of course, the Ravens aren't going to go ahead and rat out whoever it was that did indeed step on Lamar's foot. And if it is a mass of bodies like Brian Wacker is suggesting it was in that play, then it may not be known. Lamar himself may not even know because of how helter-skelter those types of piles become with 22 dudes on the field. So I just don't understand why there has to be this, what's the right word for it? Like this embracing of conspiracy theories, clinging to anything for clarity. Why is that? Is it PTSD from past injury-riddled seasons? Is it because he's the franchise quarterback? Is it because he made comments to the Washington Post this time last year that they would have won the AFC Championship game had he, again, this is him suggesting, had he been fully healthy and been able to use his legs? Or like Tila says, is it just because we all need something to talk about? If that's the case, I can actually appreciate that. Because it's currently August 21st, and we're 17 days out to regular season football. We've been starved of it, football in general, since January. And maybe, just maybe, this is that final stretch run where we're just so starving. We're just so in dire need of it. It's kind of like sex, right? I think most humans would agree. We all need it. Do we? Maybe not everybody. Maybe not the priest community. Strange segue from me. All right, let's keep this conversation moving by telling you about what's going on. I knew that would garner a little bit of reaction. This episode and this week has been brought to you by my friends at Circa Resort and Casino here in Las Vegas, Nevada, and it's Ultimate Contest Weekend, and it all starts today here at Circa. I've been documenting it on social media and Instagram the last couple of days since getting in yesterday. And look at the order of events. So right now, I am in the Galaxy Ballroom for day one of Radio Row, and there's outlets from all over the place. Who am I around right now? I saw a Dallas outlet. I got my buddy Jake Asman. Looks like there's an ESPN radio affiliate down there. We've got 94.1 in San Antonio to my right. We've got Bronco Nation News also to my immediate right. I mean, there's a ton going on here. I love a good Radio Row environment, much like I do going to Indianapolis for the Combine, Super Bowl, Radio Row. But anyway, there's just so much going on, and there's a ton on the line, too. You've got Circa Million and Circa Survivor. Those are the football contests. So basically, there's a total of $21 million in guaranteed prizes for both of these two contests. There is no rake, so if entries go above the guarantee, all extra money will go to the prize pool. Entries opened up on May 23rd. They close September 6th at 2 p.m., so that's right around the corner. You must register in person at a Circa Sportsbook in Nevada. That's Las Vegas, Henderson, or Sparks/Reno, for those of you that are in the area. Weekly picks can be made through a proxy that you'll register with from anywhere. You can sign up in Nevada and then play from anywhere. And, there's a ton of different information on what these contests are all about between Circa Million and Circa Survivor. There's going to be a cocktail party meet and greet tonight from 6:30 to 9. Radio Row again, day 2 tomorrow. Sarah and I will have coverage at 12 noon Eastern. I will go live after that. And Stadium Swim Open Bar is going to be a big one because that is what I've told you about is sort of the calling card here, especially for your non-gambling community. It doesn't matter if you gamble or not. Stadium Swim is just an absurd venue, and I'll show you it before we get back to the football content. If you go to reservations and click Stadium Swim, yeah, I mean, this place is insane. There's Jumbotron TVs, cabanas, pools, lawn chairs, every game you could possibly look. It's overlooking Vegas. It's 108 degrees today, 94-degree water temperature. The place is just, I mean, look, there's only so many days you can be here without things getting hectic, especially if you are under the consumption side of things, which I think that's easy to do when you're in Vegas. But, yeah, this place it's got a little bit of everything. So check them out. Circa Las Vegas on Instagram, Circa Sports on Instagram. And I know I'm documenting a lot of this online as well. So you can go check it out with me. Here's what I've been up to. And the room that overlooks Stadium Swim is what I got going on here. But Tila says she's showing up. Julian says his mother's in Vegas right now. Maybe we will go out on the town tonight. Why not? But, yeah, this is the spot right here. Nice king-size bed. Couch off to the side. Desk, all the room in the world. And it overlooks, like I said, Stadium Swim, where it's all going down here in Vegas. Appreciate you guys for being here. And we're talking about, of course, Lamar Jackson. We're talking about practice reports, which is as follows for today. Again, a lot of veterans, a lot of starters did not participate in practice today. And from an offensive starter standpoint, Jamison Hensley tallied it all up. No Zay Flowers, no Mark Andrews, no Isaiah Likely, no Pat Ricard, no Emory Jones, Adisa Isaac, Cheeto Awuzie. Well, what about Jair Alexander? He was seen working on a side field, has not practiced since August 9th, but perhaps an indication that his return could be soon. Had his knee drained at the beginning of training camp, way back when, last month, and had something flare up on him, as John Harbaugh shared earlier this week. So 23, not a ton of them so far this summer. And I'd be pretty surprised if he ends up playing a full regular season given his past track record. But the Ravens will be better for it should he be healthy and available for them. And that is your practice report on what was a very quiet Thursday leading into the preseason finale weekend, which will be between the Ravens and Commanders on on Saturday afternoon. I'm going to open up the guest lines here in a moment because I want to get your thoughts on whether or not you're buying or selling. Are you buying or selling John Harbaugh's comments made earlier today on Lamar?
Yeah, he got his foot stepped on, like we said yesterday. I think Chad had mentioned that. They did a quick x-ray, and there's no damage or anything like that. I'm sure it's a little sore today, so we just kept him in, but he's fine. He's going to be good.
Okay, he's fine. He's going to be good. Went on to say that prayers were answered. That from John Harbaugh on his franchise quarterback, who, yes, left practice early yesterday and rather abruptly maybe, with what the team spokesperson said to reporters is a stepped-on foot, even though that same beat reporter community noticed that he was flexing his wrist/hand. What's the significance? What's the severity? We may never know, but as of right now, that is what we have to go off of. Sharu is in the house with a $4.99 super chat. What's going on, Sharu? Hope you're doing well, brother. Out in Michigan, having a great summer. I know you got a lot going on. We've texted a couple times in recent weeks, so you're the man. Appreciate the super chat. Have an awesome weekend. Get your ass out to Vegas at some point, will you? The guy owes himself a trip to Vegas. Are you buying or selling the team's messaging around Lamar Jackson? Lots of different chatter coming in here. There's a new feature through StreamYard, as you see, in the bottom right-hand corner. The chat is now, if we do that on the vault, it might get real dicey real quick. But should we have, you know what? Let's poll this right now. You know what? Hold on a second. Will and Manny, I'm bringing you on in just a second. But should we, ready? Here we go. Let's do this. Da, 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 da. Oh, Fat Country Boy is back. Fat Country Boy is back in the live chat. He didn't have enough of me absolutely putting him to sleep last year. Oh, I can't wait. I'm so glad that it's almost season time. I'm so glad. Okay, here we go. Let's do this. All right, let's do this. Is Lamar Jackson fine? Are you buying or selling it? That poll is now available in the live chat. Okay. Fat Country Boy, I'm going to come for you in just a bit, but the guest lines are open. I know you've missed me. I know you have desperately missed me, and I've missed you too. And I'm going to have some time for you in just a bit. But first, to the guest lines we go, and who knows? Last time I invited him on, he quivered. He quivered. He quivered. Let's go to Will first, and then Manny. Will, great to hear from you, my friend. And I got to wonder, when is your move-in date, my guy?
It is tomorrow morning. So I gotta finish some things, I got my sister's volleyball game, so I'm rushing in, So yeah,
right.
Tomorrow, final day here, so I'm excited.
I'm excited for you. We're looking forward to that first dorm call. We're gonna see. We're gonna dissect your dormitory. Where I'm gonna make you go through room to room, make sure it's clean. It's not gonna be. Make sure your natty bows are stocked up in the fridge and everything else. So, your thoughts on what's become a little bit of a saga here that tends to happen with Lamar because of his importance to the organization and city. But your thoughts on this latest story revolving, I was going to say Lamar's foot, but it's really the wrist / hand that's gotten everybody talking.
It's one of the two. When I saw the first thing, I was like, oh gosh, of course everyone's terrified. Then they say it's the foot. And then I'm not going to lie. I know the Ravens are a whole different organization than this organization, but this reminded me of when this happened to Joe Burrow in season a couple years back, where he was like, oh, he had a calf injury or whatever the heck. And then just out of nowhere against us, his wrist or arm just started going, it just didn't exist, apparently. He couldn't throw, he couldn't do nothing. And they're like, where was this on the injury report? So it made me think of that immediately. And then, of course, you mentioned his past injuries, with his knee, his ankle, all that stuff, right? So, yeah, I was kind of worried. And then, of course, simmered down because I'm like, we got weeks until week 1. So I think he'll be fine. It's just kind of I don't know. Something with John Harbaugh, I'm just kind of iffy on at times with it. So that's just me, though.
Look, and I want to say, because I had a little bit of a rant. All right, it's in my Twitter caption for this live stream that we're doing right now. I did have a little bit of a rant on the conspiracy theories, the way that people cling to certain aspects, certain rumors, right? Whether it's to settle their own minds down or find clarity amidst the chaos or whatever it is. But at the same time, I have a hard time personally embracing any of that. And I know there's been times in the past where fans have felt burnt on this topic of clarity around health. Tyus Bowser comes to mind. Lamar in the AFC Championship game, as we learned from his quote to the Washington Post this time last year. Just the fact that the injury-riddled season of 2021 exists, right? It's people have scars. People have scars that it went back-to-back seasons without Lamar when it matters most in the second half closing stretch in 21 and 22. I get that. But is all that enough to truly sit here with such little information and say to ourselves, they gotta be lying. They gotta be withholding information from us. There has to be a conspiring happening. I can't allow myself, particularly given the gamemanship aspect of this, with being 17 days out to the start of regular season play. Everybody watches the opponent to the nth degree. You have to be careful. And so I tend to go on a little bit of a high horse rant when I see stuff like this because I can't wrap my head around it, Will, and I hope I hope you'll allow for that.
Oh yeah, no, I completely understand. I understand people just because there's several people nowadays, whether if it's sports, politics, this or that, they go on rants. They'd be like, it doesn't matter what you're into. People are going to have conspiracies for anything, even if you sound like you're a psychopath or whatever the crap. So like for me, I just have my theories, and then I'm just like, whatever. They're probably not true at all. I think of any possibility, whether if it's like the tiniest bit to most probable. And of course, the most probable is John Harbaugh is probably telling the truth. Like he's okay. He'll be out there starting next week on Monday, I believe. So yeah.
So hey, I'm gonna get you out of here on this. I would like my gift to you as your, let's see, I guess distant Baltimore uncle, as you get ready for your first semester in college. I'd like you to go to thevaultpod.com and pick out something of your choosing that you can rock around campus, and that I can send to you once you get your new address all taken care of. That's right, you. And I think you just muted yourself. So I'd like you to do that and DM me on some sort of social or email me or whatever it is, and I'm going to send that to your campus so you can make a bunch of Vault fans. Remind me the place you're going?
University of Cumberland's.
Okay, the University of Cumberland's is going to become the unofficial fandom of the Vault when you start
put some
walking
people
around.
on.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put some
So
people
let me know,
on.
brother. Let me know.
Which I will not lie. I did want to say my roommate, I found out, is a Browns fan. So that's going to be a fun time,
Interesting.
So
interesting. That is going to be really tough when you waterboard that guy when he's sleeping after he starts snoring. That's going to be a big issue.
Oh gosh,
it's going to get really ugly in that dorm. That's hysterical. Right. Well, hey, you let me know. And being that tomorrow's move-in, we're all wishing you the best. I think Tila thinks she's your honorary mother. I'm your uncle, and you got a shit ton of cousins. So go kill it, man.
I'm good with that. I'm good with that.
Go crush it, dude. Good luck, and keep us updated, all right?
Of course. I'll come back whenever you guys have them, or you. I say you guys, like you're multiple people around, but you get the point. I'll come back whenever. So thanks for having me on.
Thanks, man. Talk to you soon. WT Edits. I just cut them off. Sorry about that, Will, but enjoy yourself. We're wishing you the best. And I want to put up one more poll before I bring in Manny. The guest lines are open. All right, so give me 1 second. I think you guys are going to appreciate this poll too. Okay, the poll is now live, and it reads as follows. Should Fat Country Boy call in? Answer number 1 is yes. Answer number 2, or option number 2, is nah. He a little boy. So which one? Please vote if you could. Fat Country Boy, come on in, big dog. You don't want any of this, do you? I don't think so. Guest lines are open. And people around me, since I'm on Radio Row here in Vegas, are definitely giving me some looks as I scream Fat Country Boy at the top of my lungs here on a shared convention center style floor. So that's just classic. But yeah, I think I kind of like this new feature, Dre Dog. I think you're right. So is he going to call in? That remains to be seen. But Manny has been patiently waiting. We go down to Mexico City. I got to tell you real quick before I bring in this big fella, and he's going to tell me why he should be John Harbaugh's successor and why the Tylan Wallace bet is in his favor. And I do appreciate the Mina Kimes recruiting, though. I can't rip him for that, because if we have her on the show, it'd be fantastic. And he's like 3 weeks in. God bless his heart. But I will say this. I matched with 2 Spanish women last night on Bumble. Okay. And I started to speak in Spanish. Well, type in Spanish, because you guys know I minored in it at Loyola, or I think some of you guys know that. And they were definitely like caught off guard. The first thing I said to one of them, and let's get real names here so you guys don't think I'm bullshitting. Let's see here. I want to say it was like Ingrid. Yeah, Ingrid and Fair. I don't know what Fair is, like Fernanda, maybe short for Fernanda, but Fair, she's cute, brunette. And then the other one's Ingrid. So the first message to Fair, it's Bumble, so they go first. She goes, "Hey, hola, how is your week going?" I go, "Hola, ¿qué tal? Encantado de conocerte." She goes, "Igualmente, Bobby," and then goes back to English. "At the pool, that's good. You know, how are you?" So like, anyway, I'm doing it out here. All right, I'm doing it, Manny. I'm doing it. And with that, let's get you in here. It's good to see you, my friend. Thank you for all the recruitment. Hey. Please let everybody know. Please remind us what day you are at in this pursuit of Mina Kimes. You know what? Sorry, I just totally should not have said that like that. Okay, I don't want to put any attachment labels to you. Manny is pursuing Mina Kimes for our show. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
It's day 25. I just had a quick check.
My God. Over 3 weeks. Well, thank you, brother, and I hope you get down to the bottom of that because she's the best. And please let me know what your thoughts are on today's news cycle.
Selling. I'm selling.
Okay, here we go. Here we go. Go ahead. The floor is yours, my friend.
Okay, I'm selling just because, like you have said it and we said in the past. It's PTSD from 21, PTSD from 22, Tyus injury, and even before Lamar, we remember all the injuries that John Harbaugh, oh, it's just a minor thing, and then all of a sudden he's out for the season. It was like, Harbs, are you getting us the information that you're trying to give your opponents just to keep them scared, or what? But right now, until I hear Lamar in the podium say, no, it was nothing. Sorry. No, it was nothing. It was just, a precautionary thing. I'll be fine, and a lot of Ravens fans would be fine. Yes, I might want John Harbaugh's job once he leaves, but clearly, if you've been paying attention to those preseason games, I think they're grooming Zach Orr to take over John after his contract is up. Because of the fact that Mike McDonald was going to be, but I think because of the performance of the Triple Crown that we got on defense, he was out the window before they could even tell him, hey, you're going to be John's successor. Just hold it up. He wouldn't been able to. Even if you tell him that a head coaching job to prove that he's coming from a great tree, you wouldn't pass it out. So, but going back to the dating side, I see you.
Just a generational segue. Rips Harbaugh, sells everything we've been talking about the last 33 minutes and 10 seconds and counting, and then decides to segue, a generational segue to my Vegas dating life, which God forbid anybody tries to date in this town. All right, you're not going to date anywhere near the Strip. If you want to date, if you want to date here, you go to Henderson. All right, and what you're not going to do is show up solo to Stadium Swim. You want to know why? Because when you show up solo to Stadium Swim, you're seen as the guy that's got the deep pockets. And you want to know who approaches you when you got the deep pockets? People that it's not gonna be something where you just go back to the room. All right, it's gonna be, give me yourself, give me your Venmo, give me your Cash App, give me everything you own, okay, and then your mortgage. That's how it goes here. So dating here is very difficult, Manny. But continue.
No. I was just, going a little bit on a tangent just because you brought it up because of your Spanish. Very good start for a conversation to know that you're bilingual.
Oh yeah.
Not exactly bilingual, but
But Manny, you know what I'm saying though? To transition to something that I really want to talk about right now, because I hope he calls in. Fat country boy, no quiere esto. I mean, that's just the bottom line. He does not want this. I know he doesn't. He took an entire offseason away from my channel. It's the first time I've seen him, I think, since the postseason. And the fact that he did that, not only is that offensive to me, it's offensive to me, but it just proves that he can't spend that much time around me without loving me even more than he already does. And so I need him to call in and express his love and admiration for me because it's mutual. And just to answer my own poll question, should he call in? It's option B for me. Nah, he's a little boy. He's a little boy. He's a little boy. I got Jewel on the line, brother. So I appreciate you. Thanks for the call. And you already know it's that time of year again. Guest lines will be open, more readily available. And I look forward to getting back to it.
I'm going to Miami game with my father. So.
Oh, good. All right, let's stay in touch because I will likely be there. So let's stay in touch. All right.
Oh, you're arriving Wednesday or Thursday?
I don't know yet.
I'm arriving Wednesday night.
All right. We'll talk. We got a lot of time to Halloween weekend, baby. Appreciate you, brother. Have a good weekend. There he goes. Hasta luego, Manuel. Okay, another super chat came in. This one comes in from Techie Tech Knowledge. And he says, I believe Lamar is fine. And once he actually publicly speaks about it, unfortunately, I don't believe Jair Alexander is, quote, fine, but let's keep hope alive. Interesting that you talk about Jair, Techie, just because earlier today we did learn from the beat reporters out there that Jair was indeed seen on a side field working out. He has not practiced formally since August 9th, and obviously he's about a month removed from a knee drain, and he's less than a year removed, January, from a torn ACL and the procedures that followed that. So anybody that's expecting this guy to have a clean season health-wise, medically-wise, that's not a hill that I'd be willing to die on in terms of expectations. They're not paying him to essentially be the player that he once was, but I'm sure he wants to prove that he can be that guy that he once was. And what better way to do that than stacking a full health campaign here in Baltimore, getting another bite at the apple monetarily, contractually wise, whether it's in Baltimore or elsewhere next offseason, and chasing a Super Bowl. But right now, obviously things are not looking great for Jair, but I'm just not going to jump the gun quite yet. Techie says Bunny Ranch Bobby. TT Techie Tech. Thank you for both super chats. Thanks to Sharu for getting us started in that department. By the way, gifts are now available here. Channel membership is now available inside this show, and I would love for it to be kickstarted with the season quickly approaching. So obviously a lot goes into this, just as it does with the vault. And if you're interested in getting more involved with the channel, you want to show your appreciation for what it is that we're building here, become a channel member. Give membership, like the video, subscribe, hit that notification bell, do all those things that really help this thing go. All right, back to the guest line as we go. Jewel has been waiting and waiting patiently. I know you're going to have a few thoughts about what's going on, my friend. Good to see you. You got the logos sporting. I'm sure you got I don't know where you're. I'm very interested to see where you go with this. You seem a little bit on edge today. The guy's edged up. He's ready to go. He's looking clean. He's got the flat rim on, the sweatshirt. It actually literally says ready to roll. So let us know how you're rolling today.
Yeah, this is the merch from last year, the AFC Championship. Well, no, AFC North Championship sweatshirt. If there was an option to vote in the middle, I would vote for that. As far as Harbaugh is concerned, knowing his track record with telling us about injuries and how they are. I mean, he said it himself. He's not really a medical expert, so he's going by what he's being told. Now, partially half of the fan base doesn't believe him. I'm kind of in the middle of that, but I mean, I think personally, we're not going to know until Lamar comes back. I don't think it's a big deal for him that he's hurt. I mean, he's hurt, yes, but he's not hurt. So when he comes back, that all depends on how he does throughout the week. That's just all I'm seeing. That will depend on his pain tolerance level and like how he's moving. We're just going to be on edge until Monday. That's how I'll say it. So we're just going to be.
It might be past that because. Well, no, they'll be back in action Monday. They probably won't be Sunday, the day after a preseason game. They might be. I haven't seen the schedule yet, so we shouldn't jump to conclusions. But yes, there will be probably a level of silence on this between tomorrow being off, Saturday being a preseason game. I mean, I guess they could ask Harvs how Lamar's doing again post game on Saturday, but something tells me that won't happen.
Right.
And then Sunday, if it's dark, it's dark. And then Monday's the day before cuts, and everybody's attention starts to turn to Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern when the roster needs to be trimmed from 90 to 53. So anyway, to your point, there might be a level of quiet over the next few days.
Right.
But that's just where we're at. So should we turn our attention to PKB?
the troll that's been in the chat. Look, Bobby, I'm gonna just say this. You've handled a lot of trolls since you've been doing these live streams for a long time. He's one of them, and I forgot the other guy that's been coming after your name. I forgot that. I don't know who
I mean,
that guy
take your
was.
pick, bro. Take your
There's
pick.
so many of them because they just keep popping out of nowhere. I'm just like, what are you guys' hobbies? Like, why do you feel the need to say, oh, I'm gonna search Bobby, I'm gonna
But
troll
here's the
him?
thing,
Like,
Jewel. I
I
got to
don't get
tell
it.
you, Jewel. One thing I feel strongly about: his
Mm-hmm.
ass is never going to be blocked. You want to know why?
Entertainment.
Well, yeah, you enjoy the entertainment. I like kind of putting on my bad boy hat or whatever. But
Yeah.
I will never block his ass, assuming that he doesn't do something egregious in terms
Oh,
of words, the use of words,
yeah.
or show up to Vegas. Like he'd never show up here.
No,
But
my
the
mother's
reason
there.
why what's that?
My mother's there. I told you that.
Oh yeah, what part
She's
of
there with
town?
my. I don't know exactly where. She said she's going to see that Michael Jackson thing that they got down there, or I think it was either that or Janet. I'm not sure, but
Nice.
she's down there with my aunts, so
That's cool.
they're gonna have fun down there.
That's
So,
cool. Yeah. Tell her I said enjoy the weekend. But
hmm right.
no, the reason why I'll never block his ass is that I'd be worried about his life without me in it.
Yeah, yeah. I think it will be very boring, just like the rest of those trolls that tried to do that. Uh, I think he's want to be a consistent guy, or whoever he is. I'm not sure if he's a guy. I'm not sure. I mean, could be an alien.
Wait, straight up though, James, what the hell happened to David Cure? Where's my guy David?
David.
Where the hell is he? Like seriously.
I don't know, man. But the rest, I would just say, closing the rest of the injuries. Jair, you were just talking about Jair. That one, I'm 50-50 on with him. I mean, I want him to be healthy, but like you said, it's just a history with him, and this team goes as well as Lamar, but also secretly him as well, being that secret ingredient piece. So uh, I'm not too worried, but I am worried. Like 50-50 with these injuries, especially with Isaiah likely going maybe if he practices or not. But yeah, that's just how I feel about all these injuries. It's 50-50 with me.
Great to hear from you, brother. Have a great
All right.
weekend.
All right, you too, Bobby.
Catch up with you soon. Julian, it's great to hear from a lot of our regulars in season. And I will say that it's about time we start getting back to regulars. By the way, I think I have a schmedium. Am I racking a schmedium in this vault, or is it just the way that it kind of is like riding up my bicep right now? Because it seems as if I'm rocking a schmedium, but when I'm standing up, like, look, it's a normal polo. Like I look like kind of a Tex. I can't say that too loud. I'm actually sitting right next to the IT team, but I was gonna say from like Geek Squad or something, but I can't say that too loud. But anyway, this is a great fit, and it's thevaultpod.com. I've been rocking a lot of these recently, just because it's a great opportunity to showcase, promote the show, especially when you're on the road, meeting a lot of people along the way. So, yeah. By the way, guys, there is and that was not a self. Was that too self-hyping? Just let me know. Man, I can't believe PKB, Lil PKB, has yet to call in. I mean, seriously, I seriously, no. You want a job, PKB? Because I got one for you. I got a job for you. You just let me know. It's not the other way around. You let me know. All right. This guy offering me a job, PKB. Call in. Call in. Call in. You don't want it. No. You're gonna come work for me. I'm going to come work you too. If you call in right now, I'll work your ass right in front of everybody, this live audience right now. You want a tone change, PKB, because I know you miss me? I'll come work 500 plus right now. I'm going to work you. I'm going to take your lunch right in front of everybody. Doesn't matter what we're talking about either. Ravens football, dating, my schmediums, whatever it is. Call in. The guest lines are right there. Put that big mouth. Put that big mouth on the line. Let's go. Come on, there's 500 people sitting right here. I mean, let's make a quick change right now. You want a quick change? You don't like playful me? Come on out, PKB. Let's go. The thing is, though, that when the lights get bright and I look you in the eye, you lay down, because that's what you're about. You lay down. It's a lay down. Come on, big fella. Guest lines are wide open. That door is as open as Andrew Voorhees left it last year, and Patrick McCary went in and shut it on left guard. Come on. We ain't on the vault. Come on. Tilly's back on the East Coast. My dog walking needs to happen today. Mom's got her covered on the East Coast. Come on. I'm waiting. 500 plus waiting for you. And your sorry little ass that went quiet in the chat. Real quiet, too. It's real quiet in here. Did you guys notice that? It went real quiet when the brights get light. Lights get bright. WT Edits, my guy Will. Thanks, Bobby, for having me on and for the discount. Free item? I didn't entirely hear because my mom walked in to ask Smith. To ask what? But can't wait to join back in my dorm, and thanks for the support, chat. Hey, Will, what I offered to you was thevaultpod.com. Go pick an item of your choosing, and it's my gift to you to kickstart your first year of college. I'm going to send that to you. I'm going to send it to campus whenever you get an address that works. And you can hit me up through social media or via email. It's rftrosset@gmail.com. All that information can be found the back end of YouTube, and I'd love to have you. Come on, brother. So let me know, Will. I don't know. I could see you rocking like maybe one of those hoodies or a crew neck. I don't know. Take your pick. But pick something out. Let me know what it is. Would love to gift that to you to kickstart your freshman year. Absolutely, brother. PKB. He doesn't want to do it in front of the camera. He wants to meet in Vegas instead. This guy. Oh, I mean, yeah. Fremont. That's not what I'm asking for. I'm not asking for that. I'm asking for you to call in right now. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. What I say. I'm available to talk right now. I may not be here in a few days. Matter of fact, I know I'm not going to be here for a few days. So now's the time. Fremont, not far from Fremont, but we don't. Fremont's beside the point. The main point is there's a guest line link that you're quivering over right now. So that's where we're at. It's a quiver job. And I almost feel like I should just wait here. Just wait in silence until he shows up. Come on. That's what I thought. That is what I thought. You're right, Ian. Put up or shut up time, and PKB shut up. That's what he did. He shut up. It's a quiver job. That's what it is, because that's what he's about. Offer a job, my ass. I'll offer you a job, PKB. Wipe the floors, will you? Thank you guys for being with me today. I appreciate you very much, especially PKB. Julian, Will, Manny, for our call-ins today. Over 500 concurrents. I appreciate you guys very much for being with me. If you could, on the way out, like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, consider becoming a channel member, consider gift-giving membership. That is now available on this show. Can you believe he's not showing? What a damn shame he's not showing. Total. Unbelievable. It turned into a boxing podcast, didn't it? What do you guys think of the new feature? You like the live chat that's currently displaying? Bottom right-hand corner? Kind of a cool little thing, right? Anyway. PKB, next time. I guess next time. But there may not be a next time. Because I may not invite your sorry little ass on this program. I thought you'd be coming on by now, though. Man, I had time, too. I feel like you did, too, because you've been with me on this entire channel. I've missed you. I've desperately missed you all off season long. Everybody else has as well. I'll be back with you guys tomorrow. Thanks to Circa Las Vegas for the continued support. Thank you to Circa Sports. Go check them out at circasports.com. Circa Las Vegas on Instagram and Twitter. It's an incredible community here, and I'm thrilled to be back for my second contest weekend. Sarah and I'll be back with you at 12 noon Eastern tomorrow. That's what's going on en route to the preseason finale, which is a 12 noon kickoff down in Landover, Maryland, between the Ravens and Commanders. If you haven't already done so, please consider joining the Discord server. I am on a mission to get this to 1,000 members between now and the start of football season. It is free, and it is a 24/7 hub for conversation surrounding Baltimore sports. If you'd like to join, click on the link that's a pinned comment. Click on the link that I just threw into the live chat. There's more information in the show notes. You guys know the drill. There's always chatter in here. What's Will saying? Will and Rave, or excuse me, Evan and Rave getting after it in here. What else is going on in here? Maryland Terps. Always some chatter in here. Ravens football and other football-related items like T. Higgins hobbling off the practice field is in here. Orioles baseball and a number of other baseball items. A swag showcase. What's going on here? Rave letting everybody know what his ceiling looks like with that Charm City flag football. Some cool stuff. Great community, and you get an update. And I should say a shout-out when you become a member. Look, oh, here we go. Drizzy85, member number 906, literally right now. Love that. And shout-out Anuna Anunika? What the hell is that? Anuna Kigold? Anyway, 1,000 members between now, 17 days out. Would love to do it. Would absolutely love to do it. Anyway, are we finished with Super Chats? I think we just about are. Come on into the Discord. Who knows? Maybe Fatty will be in there hanging around. PH. PH, you can't even. Look at this right here. He can't even have his own profile photo. It's just like a P for fat. PHAT is his profile photo because he knows if he puts his actual identity in there, he can't. He ducks smoke all day long. That's what he does for a living. And he wants to offer me that job? Duck and smoke for a living? Nah, it's not my DNA. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you. Like the video. Subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Help this thing go. I'll catch up with you guys tomorrow. And if you want to keep following along, Instagram, I've been throwing up a bunch of stories behind the scenes here at Bobby Baltimore. You guys appreciate it. Nephew Will, you're the man. I'll be hearing from you guys later. Appreciate you all very much.